Hey, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be continuing on with my get to know me tag. Like anyone really wants to get to know me or really gives a shit about me. Please get to know me. I'm not so bad once you get to know me. And I've learned from my past mistake of turning the light down on the tablet so it's not glaring up into my face. And it's not reflecting off my glasses. When will my reflection show who I am inside? Anyway, I can't sing. I love to sing, but I can't sing, so, whatever. What's wrong with me? Full transparency, I'm actually really hot. This isn't even, on, it's just over me. I'm warm. It's so hot here. But I'm gonna do these videos. I'm also wearing my old glasses again. They're just more comfortable. Should I wear my new ones? Okay, I mean, if you insist. There you go. Ugh, you're a torment. But I can't say no to you. So I literally have no idea what these questions are. Did I already say that? I don't know. But I'm using the same ones as before. So we still have a few to do. I'll probably lose count, so I'll probably just keep answering until I just can't be bothered anymore. This is where we left off. Would you rather trade intelligence for looks or looks for intelligence? And of course I said I would rather trade looks for intelligence because, as Judge Judy said, as I said in the past video, beauty fades, dumbs forever. Intelligence is actually quite sexy in someone. Just because someone is, they're good to look at doesn't mean there's anything else behind that. And what's the point in it? So let's get on to the next one. How often do you buy clothes? Oh my god, I even said that like my first video. Anyway, how often do I buy clothes? Not very often, if I'm being honest. I don't treat myself as much as I should. Look at me trying to constantly hide this. It was a spot that I squeezed. And then it's like almost away, but then I went and put tea tree oil on it and actually burnt the skin. Oh, it's a mess. Everything I do is a mess. So, I mean, peekaboo spot, just, stay in it. How often do I buy clothes? Not very often. Actually, recently, because I'm trying to lose weight, I always had like a kind of, a fat wardrobe as I call it, and a slightly thinner-ish wardrobe. But lately I made a promise to myself I will never gain the weight back that I lost, so my stepdad works in like a recycling place that literally recycles everything. I gave him all my larger size clothes, which was 36 waist. So if I gain the weight, I will literally have nothing to wear. But, at least the clothes go to charity, and people in other countries, I think they're impoverished and don't have a lot. Those clothes will come in handy for them. Have you ever had a secret admirer? A secret admirer? I mean, not actually secret, but back in the days whenever I used to use like dating sites and stuff, I always had these same people constantly messaging me all the time and becoming obsessed with me. And I remember one time there was this one guy who I talked to, and then because I kind of started ignoring him, he threatened to download my pictures and post them online. And I didn't really care. You couldn't even post like nudes on this site back then. It was actually just photos of my stomach and stuff. But I think maybe he was talking about like outing me, maybe taking my face pictures and posting them places to kind of like out me. Like I was like, I don't care. I mean, I posted them here myself. Go for it. What's the most daring thing you've ever done? What is the most daring thing I've ever done? Well, whenever we were younger, whenever we used to live in the children's home, me and my younger brother, they used to take us away now and again for a holiday. They took us over to Scotland. And I always could remember the place. It was like a weird name of the place, Aberfeldy. Yeah, it was called Aberfeldy. They took us there. We stayed in this like big like mini mansion kind of place, and you would do activities. You would go like whitewater rafting and canoeing and bouldering, and you would go into like caves, big dark caves, and we did all that kind of stuff. But I would say that's pretty daring for me. Like whitewater rafting was actually quite scary, and then the instructor a couple of times would purposely tip the boat so everyone would tip out into the water. And I don't know, to me that's kind of daring. Even the couple of times I've been on an airplane, that for me is daring. when I used to go to horse riding, that was daring. Like, I've done things that for other people, they were kind of like, but to me they're daring because, you know, I'm out of my comfort zone. Anything you do that's out of your comfort zone is daring. What is the last thing you recorded on TV? Well, actually, to be honest, I don't really watch much TV anymore. I'm more into Amazon Prime and Netflix and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. I very rarely watch normal TV anymore. And I don't really miss it, to be honest. I spend most of my time actually on YouTube. But I can tell you what the last thing on TV that I watched was actually last night. I've seen it before, but 10 Cloverfield Lane was on. It was like 2 in the morning. I couldn't sleep, so I put it on and watched that. So that was the last thing I watched on TV. What was the last book you read? Oh God. I haven't read a book in years. I used to love reading. I was into, you know, like the R.L. Stein books. They actually were books for, like, I think, young adults. They were like horror stories. I kind of like them. I actually have a lot of books in there that I bought of his and I never read, and I still have them for when I was back in my late teens, early 20s. I need to redonate them. If I'm not going to read them, I need to donate them back to charity. That's where I bought them from. But yeah, it was probably that. I don't read. I still love it. I used to read all the time, but I don't know what happened. I used to write a lot too. What's your favourite type of foreign food? Well, I'm actually not very adventurous with foreign food. I wish I was. Like, I've never even had like easy things to buy, like sushi. I mean, I've seen it, but I've never bought it or had it. And mostly if I'm eating anything foreign, and it's not even foreign, it's just like the UK version of it, which is Chinese food. I've never even had Indian. I've never tried it. The closest thing to foreign would probably be, there's like a store, it's called Lidl. I think it's like a German-owned store. And I think they have like imported food from different places, and I've tried some meat from there, and I literally have no idea where it comes from. Maybe Germany, I don't know. So I guess, yeah, that's about the closest I've gotten. I need to be more adventurous with food, really. I just stick to the old basics. I'm a basic person. You'll find me probably eating burgers, or spaghetti bolognese, or stew, or just a nice Sunday dinner, or those kind of things. I don't really go out of my comfort zone with food very often, but I probably should be a bit more experimental. Hey, excuse me, I'm actually experimental enough in my life, but food-wise. Are you a clean or messy person? Well, as I said in my last video, do you remember Monica from Friends? Yeah, that was me years ago. Long story short, as I said in that one, I used to be obsessed with cleaning. I used to clean for other people. I used to even buy cleaning products to clean other people's houses. And eventually they would just take advantage of me, and it actually broke the habit for me, thank God, because, I mean, it wasn't healthy. Now, I would say I'm somewhere in between. I just do enough to keep it clean. It's not immaculate, and it's not horrible. It's just somewhere in between. I do a little bit here and there all the time just to keep on top of it. It's just, I don't really like cleaning, if I'm being honest. Who would you want to play you in a movie of your life? Why did I say that so weird? Who am I today? I just don't know. I think I just go into autopilot mode. Who would you like to play you in a movie? Who would I like to play me in a movie? Actually, I don't think I would like a man to play me in a movie. I think I would like to be like gender swapped. They call it gender bending or something, but I don't like that term. But I would like probably my favourite actress, Winona Ryder. She could play me in a movie. Yeah, I mean, she's probably been my most consistent, most favourite actress through my whole life. So I'm going to say Winona Ryder because she is my favourite. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning? Actually not that long. Just a quick lather up, rinse off. My hair is like choppy, so I can literally just flick it around a bit and it looks like I spent quite a while on it when I didn't really. And yeah, not very. What kitchen appliance do you use every day? Well, obviously the kettle, because I love coffee. I love coffee. I don't think I'm addicted to coffee, but if there's none in the house, I do kind of be like, I really want coffee. So maybe I am addicted, I guess. I mean, again, sorry, Cole. So, let's see. What's your favourite fast food chain? I don't really have one, to be honest. I guess from childhood I'll just say McDonald's. But you know the one that used to be nicest when I was a child, but it's like really disappointing now, and that's KFC. Maybe it's just my local one, I don't know what happened, but the chicken skin on that used to be beautiful years ago, and the gravy. Now it's just, ugh, it tastes like you're eating food that's been left over from the day before and just reheated, which for all I know it could have been. It's not nice, and you hear horrible stories about what the workers do to the mayonnaise and stuff, so I don't want to put you off KFC, but ugh. And then sometimes I'm also eating it and I don't like it creeping into my mind, but I do have intrusive thoughts. I'm eating the chicken and then I'm imagining that they were once little chickeny things running around a farm at one point, or God forbid locked up in a wee cage. Like battery chickens. I don't know, I try to block that out when I'm eating chicken and stuff, but yeah, sometimes it's hard. That wasn't even the question, like, what are you on about? What's your favourite family recipe? My stepdad used to make a really lovely Ulster fry, but for some reason as I've gotten older I've gotten kind of intolerable to too much fried food. It just kind of turns my stomach. A lot of pork seems to turn my stomach too, like pork sausages and stuff. But you know what I actually love? I've loved him my whole life, and it's just stew. When he makes homemade stew, I just love it. And I love it. I just love a big bowl of hot stew. I know this isn't the question either, but me and my brother always did this thing about hot stew years ago. We used to call it mitching. It's whenever you would pretend you were going to school, but you wouldn't actually go, and you just hang around the town all day. But we would go up to people and say we needed money for our bus fare to get to school, but really it was for cigarettes because we smoked then. We lived in a children's home, so everyone smoked and whatever. But on a sign on a window one time, because we were hungry, and there was this like neon sign and it said hot stew. But we didn't actually have enough for both. It was either cigarettes or stew, so we got the cigarettes. And to this day, sometimes when we say hot stew, we still think about that. It's just a silly little childhood thing. Do you love or hate roller coasters? I don't like roller coasters. I haven't been on many. I don't like them. I get scared, and I don't like going upside down. I'm a wimp. Someone's calling. Well, I'm busy, so I'm not answering. Yeah, roller coasters, I don't know, they scare me. And then, have you ever watched Final Fantasy, the roller coaster one? I didn't really think about that at the time, but I mean, it does kind of creep into my head. I'm just scared, and I remember when I'm going on roller coasters, I have to take or like even big rides, I have to take my glasses off and give them to someone or put them in my pocket so I'm half blind. Or if I put them in my pocket one time, they got crushed. It's a lot for me. I would just rather watch from the sidelines, but I don't mind slower moving things and other fun things as long as it's on the ground. What's your favourite family tradition? My family haven't really formed a lot of traditions. I was always the one that was a stickler for traditions. On my birthday, I always made sure I got a cake. On Halloween, I always make sure I do a pumpkin. At Christmas, we always do like crackers. So I'm always the one that kind of keeps those little silly traditions alive, but no one else in the family really has them. A little silly, little tiny tradition that we do here is on a Saturday, I throw a lot of like chips into the fryer, and me and my mum sit and have them and watch TV with a little bit of salt. That's just like a wee thing we do together, like a wee tradition thing. It's like sweet and I like it. What's your favourite childhood memory? Well, to be honest, I don't really have a lot of good childhood memories. I mean, as I said, I was in a children's home in foster care, and you know, you don't really form a lot of good memories there. But, I mean, it wasn't all bad, I guess. I couldn't really say I have one. You know what, I actually do have one really good memory, actually. We were with this foster mum one time, and she treated us very... She wasn't a monster, but she wasn't a very nice woman. And the day finally came where we were actually going to move from her house to like a new place, which was actually the children's home. We weren't meant to stay with her for that long anyway, but it ended up being 6 years. Would you quit ringing? I'm trying to make a video. This is what I tell you every time I make a video. It doesn't matter what time of the day. It's quiet before I start the video, and then some noise happens, and that's why I probably couldn't do too many ASMRs. I did an ASMR video. If you want to watch that, it's probably on my channel by now. But that was a nightmare to make. But yeah, the childhood memory left her house and we moved on. And how heartless could they have been? Like, we were only children. We'd lived with them for 6 years, and just as we were leaving, her sister, which I guess would have been our foster aunt, I guess, the last words she said to us were, if you had have behaved, this wouldn't have happened, which was obviously a lie. We weren't meant to be there that long. But instead of saying bye, we miss you, whatever, that was her final parting words to me. So, what's your favourite movie? Well, I've mentioned this in a past video. My favourite movie is actually Memoirs of a Geisha, followed very closely by Girl Interrupted. I love the two lead actresses of that. I'm not going to butcher the one from Memoirs of a Geisha, but of course Girl Interrupted is Winona Ryder. I also love Kate Winslet as well. How old were you when you learned Santa wasn't real, and how did you find out? Well, I actually remember when I was younger, when I did believe, I used to actually sneak down the stairs in the middle of the night and try to catch him. But of course, as we know, that would never happen. I was going to say it in a different way there, but I don't think kids would probably watch this anyway. And how did I find out? I think my mum just actually told me on one visit. We used to visit her mum every Saturday, and I think she just told me. And I went home and I told my foster parents, and of course they threatened me that if I told the other younger kids that, you know, it wouldn't be a happy ending for me. So, what 3 items would you take to you if you were on a deserted island? What 3 items? I'm someone that could basically leave everything I have here and just walk away from it. Like, apart from my cat, maybe. I could just walk away from all my stuff right now and I wouldn't miss any of it. Like, I just don't have any attachments to stuff. What's the most unusual thing you've ever eaten? What is the most unusual thing I've ever eaten? Well, I haven't really ate anything that was that unusual. I think one time I did taste a dog biscuit. You know, like a dog treat, just to see what it tasted like. Yeah, one time I did taste a dog biscuit because I just wanted to taste what it tasted like. And it kind of tastes like just an old steel yucky biscuit that's been lying around and it's got no flavour in it. So you're not missing anything by not trying a biscuit like I did. Remember that one time Serena Williams tried her dog's food? It was like gourmet food. And she tried some of it and it made her really sick. Is there anything you wished would come back into fashion? Actually, yes. I wish there was more bootcut jeans still being made out there, and I mean, not big flary bottoms, but I mean nice bootcut jeans. This skinny jean trend has to end. Like, I'm sick of it. You go into like a store and every single jean in there is skinny. And I don't even think men really enjoy wearing them. I think it's just the trend and they wear them because they think it's the trend and because that's what everyone else is wearing. If they were honest, I don't think they actually enjoy wearing them. There's nothing comfortable about them. They're tight and they're just annoying to move in. And that trend, it's moved on now to tracksuit bottoms too. That trend needs to die already. Bring back normal jeans. Stop forcing us into these fucking drain pipes. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Well, that's actually a question on a dating site that I'm on. And I always tick the option somewhere in between. I would say I probably am somewhere in between. I'm not a completely extrovert. I don't think I ever would be. And I'm not a complete introvert. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So yeah, I would say I'm somewhere in between. Which of the 5 senses would you say is your strongest? Well, it's definitely not sight, is it? What is it? Well, you know what I've noticed? I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but the older I'm getting, my sense of smell has gotten a lot better, or maybe it's just because offensive smells actually annoy me more than they used to when I was younger. I don't know. But I would probably say my sense of smell has probably gotten better for the wrong reason, maybe. So my battery actually died, and we're near the end. I was just sitting here literally for the last 15-20 minutes like an idiot. Like, come on phone, come on phone. My phone, if you didn't know, is actually an addict. It is addicted to electricity, and I was like, if you want your fix today, you better behave. We only have a few more to do. I've skipped over some of them because they don't apply to me, so let's quickly get this done. If you had a warning label, what would yours say? Well, mine would obviously say avoid, stand back, keep your distance. I just don't like people coming too close. I'm sociophobic, I'm a weirdo in public. So yeah, mine would probably say avoid with caution, all those kind of things. What celebrity would you like to meet at Starbucks for a cup of coffee? I mean, these questions kind of repeated themselves. I mean, I'm going to give the same answers I gave in my last video. I guess Britney Spears because of my childhood, Serena Williams because I admire her. Someone like that, you know, someone I like. Maybe Winona Ryder, Kate Winslet, maybe someone just that I like, an actor or singer that I really admire and that I like. On a scale of 1 to 10, how funny would you say you are? People always say I'm funny. I guess sometimes it's hard for me to really convey my I guess it's really hard for me to convey my full personality on YouTube because I still hold back a bit. I try to be as authentic and as me as I can be, but I still do subconsciously hold back. I'm watching it back in editing and I'm like, oh, why did you do that? Or why don't you just come out of your shell already? Stop being so backward. I seem to go into this more high-pitched kind of childlike state when I'm nervous, and it really bugs me. But if I had to say on a scale of 1 to 10 how funny I am, I don't know, that's subjective, really. It's for other people to say. I'm just going to say a 3. No, I'll actually put myself up to a 4. I think that's fair, it's just under half. I think the best people, the funniest people, are people who don't have to try to be funny. It's just natural, like natural comedians. Who is the most intelligent person you know? They're all smart in their own different ways, and they're all good at different things. I think that if you're good at something and you have passion for something, I think that makes you intelligent because you know a lot about it and you've dedicated yourself to know about it. Yeah, I think that. I think if you just, have a hobby or an interest that you've really dedicated yourself to and learned as much as you could about it and, gotten as good at it as you possibly can, I think that's intelligent in my eyes and that's good enough to be classed as intelligent for me. If you had to describe yourself as an animal, which one would it be? Well, because I've gained so much weight, I would probably say a wheel. Sometimes I'm anxious, so I feel like a little mouse. Sometimes I feel overconfident, like a lion. So I'm kind of like a mixture of things. I probably have like a paw and whiskers and a flipper and a fin, and I'd be some kind of mutant animal. A mixture of all the things I feel like, a lion and a wheel and a mouse and a god knows what I would look like. What is the one thing you will never do again? I would probably say just repeat past mistakes. We make mistakes and hopefully we learn from them. We don't always, but we try. But there are a few mistakes I have made in the past that I know I will never repeat again. And that's all I'm going to say about that one. And the last question. Who knows you the best? Who does know me the best? I don't know. I think people know little different things about me. I tell certain people different things at certain times. Some people know more in different areas of my life than others. So I guess they would all have to come together to form like a whole consensus of people that know me. So yeah, I'd probably say that. There's a little bit of me scattered here and there between different people. But that's that. Next time I will look up different questions, I think. Ones that are kind of funny, like comedy ones, tongue-in-cheek, kind of flirty. These ones are just ones I wanted to finish because this is literally the first thing that comes up on Google when you search for it. So that's why I did it. Well, that's the conclusion of that video for today. I don't know if it was that exciting or not. You can also go watch my first video, Get to Know Me. It's got the first half of this. I hope that's helped you get to know me a bit more today, and I had fun. I hope you had fun. And I guess I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it as always. Bye.